Hope you're enjoying the music right now on Gold FM. Only the classic hits, especially if you're spending your time at home or around the office. I certainly hope you're taking it easy and enjoying the music coming your way. Well, I got a whole lot more to keep you moving and to keep you going right up until you reach knock-off time. I'm Kara. Join me every weekday from 2 to 7 on The Ride, only on Gold FM.
जहाँ हो प्यार का बसेरा और रिश्तों की खुशबू, वो है आपका अपना घर संसार. Join me on घर संसार, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. only on Radio Fiji 2.
Tonight, Kandavu Provincial Council out to mend relations with people in the province. Government calls on Fijians to get on board with Fiji Day celebrations. And more than 2,000 people apply for jobs at Fiji Airways. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and you're watching FBC News. For more than a decade, the people of Kandavu have had differences with their provincial council over shipping issues. Today, the council is working on reconciling with the people. Eleanor Turangaivu has more.
Close to $500,000 were raised by the people of Kandavu to buy a new ship. The provincial council bought a Chinese riverboat in 1998 and named it Themboloni Deva, managed by Kandavu Shipping. Over the years, as the vessel was operating between Suva and Kandavu, the people on the island weren't happy, saying they didn't benefit at all. Many then opted not to work with the council. Following the grounding of the boat in Rotuma in 2006, Kandavu Shipping Company was declared bankrupt, adding to the frustration of the people. Now, efforts are underway to bring the people together.
What we are trying to do right now is to let the people of Kandavu know what the provincial office is doing in terms of provincial rate and other things. So I, as the rock or Tui of Kandavu, what I've tried to do with other stakeholders in the province is to get the officials of the Kandavu holding together, discuss ways of going forward.
The Rokotui says while it will be hard to forget what has happened over the years, it's essential for the sake of the province.
I know there are scars of the past that are still there, but what we have tried to do is to not really forget about the past, but to find a way forward, so that we do not keep on thinking about the past, but to think of ways in which to get the province forward.
After a lapse of 15 years, the people of Kandavu held another meeting last month to discuss issues of the Vanua.
Right now we are in the Western Division, trying to recollect people there and inform them of how much they have collected in the Soli and also the bazaar that we had last month. Those are the things that we want to get them to know. I think what they have said is this is the first time that they have been updated with the amounts that they have collected and other things that have been done in the Provincial Council.
The Provincial Council is hopeful their efforts will be successful. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
The Levuka Town Council is counting down to Thursday. This will be their first Fiji Day as a World Heritage Site. With the theme recognizing senior citizens as the pillar of our heritage, the old capital expects a big turnout. Apisalome Doka reports.
Independence Day celebrations in Levuka will always be special, but this is the first one as a UN World Heritage Site.
It's done at the place where the official ceremony was held about 139 years ago, and of course we're trying to make it so real that people will remember it for a long time.
Suliana Sandy says elders on the island of Ovalau and Moturiki will have a special place at the celebrations.
The theme for our celebration this year is recognizing senior citizens as the pillar of our heritage. And this is why we're trying to bring them in, and hopefully we will be able to get more history from them.
The Levuka Town Council is also preparing to host more than 1,000 people who are expected on the island on Fiji Day.
There are 4 schools that have confirmed with us, but these schools are coming in. They've written to ask if they could also be part of the reenactment because it is part of their social science program. And there is a day trip that is organized by Patterson, which leaves Suva 6 o'clock Thursday morning. They come in. They will all be at the reenactment. There's about 330 of them. And then they leave again at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So yes, there's a lot of people coming from the outside.
Celebrations will also be held in Suva, Lambasa and Lautoka in the Western Division. Apisalome Doka, FBC News.
Still with Fiji Day, official celebrations will be held nationwide to mark the 43 years of independence. In Suva, they'll be held at Albert Park with the trooping of the colours by the RFMF. President Ratue Pelina Latika will be chief guest at the event and will view the parade. In Lambasa, Lautoka and Levuka, celebrations will feature entertainment and displays by both government and the private sector. The government is also calling on the public and the private sector to celebrate Fiji Day by proudly displaying Fiji flags outside their offices. Fiji Airways has apologized to passengers affected by a mechanical fault on one of their aircraft. Managing Director Stefan Pitchler says the problem lies with a leased engine on one of its Boeing 737s. He adds while the airline is sorting out the issue, it has combined some Sydney and Auckland services using Boeing 747 and Airbus A330 aircraft. With the exception of a 4-hour delay on the Brisbane service today, other schedules remained unaffected. Pitchler adds this is the best solution to ensure safe flight operations and minimal disruptions. For the first time in 6 years, Fiji Airways has recruited a new cabin crew. More than 2,000 applied for the jobs, but only 20 were chosen. Today they had their first day of training and met the new Chief Executive Stefan Pitchler. Christopher Chand reports.
Following 3 stages of interviews over a 1-month period, these people have been chosen as the new faces of Fiji Airways.
With all the airlines, not the food on board or the in-flight entertainment makes the difference, but the people on board, the service on board, the personalized service on board, that's what makes the difference.
A month into his new role, Pitchler was on hand to personally meet his new recruits. They will now undergo 8 weeks of training and sit through a number of exams in cabin services and safety.
So for me it is very important to interact and to communicate with our ambassadors of the brand, which is all the new cabin crew members. I need to tell them what we expect of them. I need to monitor their progress, and I want to get their buy-in into the long and hopefully golden future of Fiji Airways.
With the appeal of traveling around the world, the job is highly sought after amongst our youth.
Speaking from experiences from childhood, this is where I wanted to be.
I'm so blessed, it's a privilege, and I'm so honored and humbled to be part of that top 20. Yeah. And here we are today.
It's only just the beginning of a new career for these soon-to-be cabin crew. They still have a long way to go before their first flight with Fiji Airways. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Coming up, Amalgamated Telecom Holdings continues with reforms at Fintel.
Nisa mula binaka oya wane kamanalangi oni nandorungo diao may nadiwa kinarua na bisinga may namoniti kinabagarumbuka na Radio Fiji 1 nandoma ibiti bongani biyanyano na makatalangana bengon sa sibiani na tinakaloka na bimbongi ni bukilulu kena bima maniwalo na bimbongi ni bakarawai may nambuza ni balo ningay namaka.
आपकी शादी होने वाली है 5 बच्चे होंगे 5 हाय मैं हूँ आपकी सहेली वेनू सुनते रहेंगे मिर्च एफएम मैं हूँ ना 9 से 12 बजे तक
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. A program to check the spread of underground termites, Operation Kandavu, has been successful. However, more needs to be done. Roland Koroy reports the public is being advised to take Biosecurity Authority of Fiji's warnings more seriously.
Since its discovery in 2010, the subterranean termites have wreaked havoc causing the dismantling of more than 800 homes in Lautoka.
We dismantled about 800 houses from 2010 to 2011. And we are so fortunate because we didn't come across any cyclone at the time. And then government pumping a lot of money to have the house fixed.
While the response from the public has been positive, there's still a lot more the Biosecurity Authority of Fiji is hoping for.
Generally keeping a good hygiene around the house. If you have rotten timber lying around in the house or outside the house, I know you need to remove this and burn it, because this is a food source for the termites. And once the termite detect that you have food source lying around under your house and you're not keeping a clean compound, it's just easy entry for them to infest your houses.
According to BAF, many Fijians still don't realize the danger posed by these small insects.
It took us some time to drill the message down to the residents and to get them to understand that they were affected by this dangerous termite, the second worst dangerous termite in the world.
The subterranean termites have also been detected in Lambasa, and according to experts, they have been around for the last 10 to 15 years. Total eradication may be impossible at this stage, but with the help of the public, Biosecurity Fiji strongly believes that they can be contained with minimal damage to infrastructure. Roland Koroi, FBC News.
Efforts are underway to include people with disabilities when it comes to planning for natural disasters. Groups representing people with disabilities are working with the government and international organizations to come up with a system that is all-inclusive. Epeli Tokoasa reports.
Including people with disabilities in disaster plan is part of a week-long program in the lead-up to the International Day of Disaster Reduction.
During earthquakes and tsunamis or other natural disasters, persons with disabilities are always neglected in disaster-prone parts of the world because many of those who died were unable to leave their beds or failed to comprehend in time the need to escape.
The program is organized by the United Nations Office for the Disaster Risk Reduction. Its experiences around the world are expected to help Fiji.
Who die from a disaster, it's incredibly high, and including those people representing themselves and their needs in the planning process and in programs to reduce vulnerability is extremely important.
Those speaking on behalf of people with disabilities have welcomed these discussions, the first time they have the chance to contribute.
Looking at persons with disabilities as vulnerable, who don't have a voice at all. Even at the planning stage, when we talk about the community, we are left at home.
There needs to be a lot of awareness, and we need to reach out to the people out there, and we can only do it together.
With the cyclone season a month away, these talks come at a critical time. The theme for this year's International Day of Disaster Reduction is Living with Disability and Disasters. Epeli Tukwasa, FBC News.
Changes continue at Fintel after all of its shares were purchased by Amalgamated Telecom Holdings. Chanel Sivan reports ATH now wants to consolidate the operations of all its telecommunication companies.
Fintel is Fiji's gateway to the world for information exchange, data transfers and international communication in general. As of August, it has become a subsidiary of ATH.
Yeah, we've gone through the process now. So after acquiring the government's shares also, the whole company is now a 100% owned subsidiary of ATH. So this will help us to consolidate the company. And you would have noticed the building has been advertised for sale. So we just need to concentrate on our core business, and then if there are excess assets in the company, we'll try and get rid of that.
Kodagoda says the idea at the end of the day is to have a more streamlined company and not just with Fintel.
The ultimate objective is to just have one large telecommunication company, and it will have different arms. So we will have Vodafone as the mobile operator, we'll have Telecom as the fixed line internet provider, and Fintel as the international arm.
ATH expects its two subsidiaries, Vodafone Fiji and Telecom Fiji, to also roll out the fourth generation network, or 4G, by the end of the year. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Time for sports now. And Jamie, it's great that we'll be watching the English Premier League live from this month.
Yes, it is, Jackie. I'm pretty excited about it as well. And so are Fijians from all walks of life, as we'll find out soon. Also in sports, Navua has high hopes for the court's Inter-District Championship. That's coming up.
Bula, I'm Wame. Join me every weekday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on The Center Show with classic hits from the 70s as well as the 80s right here on Gold FM.
Bula, oya wasala bilawa. Do pataki au mena diwa kina tini karona kaloko na single boni moniti kina vagaromboka. Kako ni valatana no musini sari na kaisa mariando loloma leone vani ni nau omgori ke de mena diwa kina tini karona kaloko na single boni moniti kina vagaromboka na Bula FM number 2 en sere.
And while football fans across the nation are eagerly waiting the start of the English Premier League on FBCTV, this is what the public told FBC Sports.
It's a big achievement, a historic achievement, and I'm sure that all the soccer-loving fans in Fiji will be excited more than anything, I should say. And I just can't wait for it, to be quite honest, because I've been doing live streaming all the time, but now it's free to air. Well, what else could we ask for? Thank you, FBC.
I think this is great news for Fiji soccer and soccer fans at large. All these years I think we've been deprived of good soccer and access to quality soccer as far as entertainment and fanatics are concerned.
I love watching EPL soccer because it's free, so I'm waiting for it now. Why don't you join us with FBC?
This is very good because it's good for everybody. And when it's free.
I think this is a very good thing. It will improve Fiji's soccer, and it's free. Everybody can watch all this for free. This is a very beautiful thing.
Merchant Timber's Navua football side once again hopes to surprise other teams in the court's Inter-District Championship the same way it did last year when it made the semi-finals. All the players that played then are back, and so is the man who guided them. Shelvin Chand spoke to coach Muhammad Shafiq.
It was Mohammad Shafiq's tactics and the commitment by the homegrown players that saw Navua play in the semi-final last year. The team is working towards a similar aim.
We've got the same players here, and most of them are from last year's IDC squad. And yes, I really expect what we did last year, and hope that whatever we have planned, it comes to what we want to achieve.
There are some serious injury concerns with the team. Top striker Inyemboko is definitely out, but fingers are crossed that goalkeeper Sheikh Moshin recovers.
He was our goal-scoring machine last year IDC, and also we are a bit concerned with our keeper Sheikh Moshin, who was got injured in BOG. So a bit of concern regarding Sheikh Moshin, and also we'll miss Inyemboko.
Navua faced Jacks Nandi in their first game. Nandi has been favoured to win this match.
Nandi has been a very improving and young side who has been coming up as they've won Fiji Fact and also was really good in BOG. We are taking it very strongly and we are coming up with strategies so that we can encounter Nandi in a positive way.
Navua are pulled with Nandi, Suva and Nandroga. If the team does well, they have a shot at making the last four. Shalvin Chand, FBC Sports.
The Digicel Fiji Sevens team departs the country tonight for the Gold Coast tournament in Australia. With a relatively new-look side, coach Ben Ryan will have his work cut out for him. Ryan is also looking at refining a few areas, which despite being in Fiji's favour, has not always worked.
Sometimes our strength becomes our weakness. You know, we're over the ball, we're strong and we're powerful. And because sometimes we're too strong over the ball, we give away penalties where if we'd just been a bit more patient and made the right decisions, then it might have gone our way for the penalty, or we might have got turnover. So a little bit of patience and understanding there, and I'll spend a bit of time with the boys looking at video as well and explaining a few things.
The tournament starts on Saturday. The National Games for Special and Inclusive Athletes starts tomorrow at the ANZ Stadium in Suva. 16 schools from Fiji, adult para-athletes and a 12-member team from Samoa will compete. There's also a chance for people to get a glimpse of Fiji's sporting hero, Ilyas Ndelana, in action.
Tell to the people of Fiji that our competition is coming in the next 2 days.
Ilyas Andelana too will be competing, so if you want to watch Ilyas Andelana compete, he'll be jumping on Wednesday morning, be part of his competition and preparing for next year's event. Not only Ilyas Andelana, there's plenty other Ilyas Andelanas. Please do come and support us and see where we stand.
And before I go, don't forget to catch the live netball action from 10 p.m. tonight. Australia takes on New Zealand in the Constellation Cup. Live and exclusive only on FBCTV.
FMF Foods Limited has seen a drop in its profit levels despite increasing revenue in its last financial year. Tax profit came to $11.5 million compared to $12.9 million in 2012. Company Chairman Harry Punja says this is due to a price determination system with long delays between wheat cost increases and flour price changes. There was also a huge drop in the biscuit business. Exports to Australia suffered a 33% reduction due to aggressive discounts by Australia's leading biscuit brand that had a domino effect on FMF sales. Weather time now, Monday again. Jen, what do you have for us?
A lot of clouds and some showers, Jackie. Considering Monday is usually recovery day, the weather probably reflected the mood of the majority. Suva had a mixed bag. It was all cloudy here in the Western Division, and there were showers for Savu and Lambasa. Temperatures were fairly warm for everyone today. The highest was 31 degrees in 3 major centres. The lowest, a cool 27 in Savu. Looking at the forecast for tomorrow, we'll have a bit more sun than we did today. There's only a few clouds on the chart here, and they're in places you would normally expect rain anyway. And that was weather, short and sweet as always. Leaving you now with another sunset from Anjesh Raj of Nassau in Nandi. Keep sending in those photos. We'll catch up again tomorrow.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. Tonight's top stories: Kandavu Provincial Council out to mend relations with people in the province. The government has called on all Fijians to get on board with Fiji Day celebrations, and more than 2,000 people apply for jobs at Fiji Airways. Results from last week's poll question, and we asked, can Fiji defend its title at the Gold Coast Sevens? 75% answered yes. This week we're asking, will live EPL games on FBCTV help develop local soccer? Visit our website to take part. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That's news tonight. Until tomorrow, good night.
I wake up in the morning, I prefer to go down to the gym, get a bit of physical work done. Also, later on in the day, I decide to go through for meditation. I do a bit of reading to find out what the latest songs are, a bit of research. And for me, it's all about the listeners.
Hey, what's up? I'm Rio, and this is the Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 o'clock to 7, only on Today FM. Today is hit music. What's up?
सूरज की पहली किरण के साथ दिन की शुरुआत कीजिए। सुबह का मंगल प्रभात आपको शुभ हो। सुबह सुबह हो खुशियों का मेला, ना लोगों की परवाह ना दुनिया का झमेला। पंछियों का संगीत हो और मौसम अलबेला। मुबारक हो आपको ये खूबसूरत सवेरा। हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक सुबह 6 से लेकर 9 बजे तक शामिल रहें रेडियो फिजी 2 पर हम सफर में रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।